This is day 6 of documenting my journey as a founder building an 8-figure business. Today wasn't as bad. The only thing is that my day ended up pretty shit because my team that is in charge of treating me like a client and essentially building my personal brand, we're currently going super hard on that and making essentially YouTube videos 5 times a week. So essentially we're posting from Monday to Friday for my personal brand and just to learn as quickly as possible what works, what doesn't, and just experiment a lot more. And another big motivation for this was also me getting in the shoes of our clients so I could see what we need to change and what we need to improve in order to deliver better results and a better experience for our client, which I documented, I believe, yesterday on what makes a premium brand. And it's always at the very top, results, but then the next thing is the experience. If you can get those two things right, you will have an addictive service or product. And I've spotted so much shit that we need to improve by me being in front of camera and just doing these things. So that was another big motivation of why we are just making a lot of content for myself, but primarily as well to build a personal brand, because we have to lead from the front, and ultimately the window to build a personal brand is closing quite rapidly. So if there is a time, is now. And this is not shit that I just say to my clients and I just say out there. Like, we're literally living it right now. This is probably the last opportunity ever to build a personal brand online, with all the current AI landscape taking over and just content being mass produced and things getting more accessible, and yeah, just more AI content shit out there. So making content as a human and the opportunity that we have to build a personal brand is quite unique to this time frame right now. So essentially I was without any YouTube videos because my team is fucking letting me down and not treating me like a client. And then essentially at 4:50 they're like, oh, we need a YouTube video, and there's no that, like, the plans that we have are fucking too complicated. I need better preparation. So I just had to come up with an idea of something that I knew I could smash very quickly, and it was gonna still be in alignment and be valuable. And this is the good thing of making content that is about your field of expertise, that it's easy as well to make. And yeah, basically I just went on like a 10-minute fucking straight to camera rant, one take. I fucking crushed it. I was so stoked. I was like, fuck. That went from me being disappointed that we didn't have content to a smash a banger, and we're good for today. And then my fucking videographer tells me that, oh, I didn't record. I wanted to kill him with my bare hands. There's nothing worse than putting effort into being in front of camera, getting a great fucking piece of content, and the thing wasn't recorded or the audio was messed up. So yeah, that was pretty shit. And that was a reminder to me as well, because as soon as that happened, it's fucking already past 5. We're super exhausted. We're flying tomorrow at fucking 6 a.m. is the flight, but we have to be here at 4 a.m. to finish packing and all this shit. And I was just like, oh man, I really don't want to do this right now. I really don't want to do it again, because also I just did that off top of my mind. So like, it came out perfectly. I don't know if I can do it again like that. So it was one of those moments where for a split second you're like, fuck, why is everything so hard? And it would have been so much easier to just quit, to just not do it. But that's not fucking me. So I can't not get the job done. That's my job. As a founder, as a business owner, I have to get the fucking job done, even if my team fucking lets me down. Yeah, that's the founder's job. The founder has always had to fucking eat the shit and do whatever it takes and to lead from the front. I had to also lead for my team and show them like, hey, yeah, we messed up here. It's also my fault because I should have asked him, hey, are you recording? Are you... yeah, so your job as the founder is you have to eat all the shit for your team many times. It always comes back to you. You have to take extreme ownership and accountability. And that's one of the hardest things, honestly, of running a business and being the founder and the CEO, is that you ultimately eat shit for everyone. The mistakes of your team are your mistakes. And one way or another, whether you like it or not, they always come back to you. There's always a weird, twisted way of you blaming yourself for the mistakes of your team. So yeah, that was just one example of them. But the worst examples is when it happens with a client, when your team does some dumb shit that you are super embarrassed. And ultimately, you're the one to blame. Because you hire them, because you train them, because you're the founder, because it's your business, because it's your team. So ultimately, any mistake that your team members make, they come back to you. It's your fault as the founder. And that shit sucks a lot of the times. Especially when it's stuff that you just think like, how the fuck did you do this mistake? So honestly, that's one of the hardest things I have found on my journey as a founder, is having the ability to just take responsibility for all the shit that your team does, especially for the stuff that just makes you feel embarrassed. And yeah, but again, comes back to you. You didn't train them properly. You put them on the team. Yeah, one of the hardest ones as well with that one is I look back at when it was just me, when I was just figuring stuff out and I was wearing all the hats on my own. And there's some mistakes that my team has made that never in a fucking lifetime occurred to me to even make. Some I was like, yeah, fair. I made that mistake and I've never trained you on not doing that. But sometimes it's just some stuff that blows your mind away and it just makes you think, how the fuck do you even do that? How, on what planet did you thought that that was the correct thing to do? So, yeah. I had another one yesterday of one of my team members having a meeting with one of our clients. And I just happened to be over here and things because I wasn't wearing my headphones. I usually just try to wear some noise cancellation and just try to not get distracted by anything because we have an open space here in the office. And basically, my team member was just making such a big deal of the client not spending like $20 a month on a software that we need him to get in order for us to help him get results. It's a platform called Frame.io and it's about video reviews, and because we're doing some additional work for our client with some extra content and some stuff, we can't do it on our Frame.io. We have to do it on their Frame.io. And basically my team member is having issues to do our job for the client because we don't have access to the thing. And in order to get access to the thing, they need to invite us and pay $20 to get us in there. And we're talking about like an 8-figure entrepreneur that is our client, you know. But my team member is thinking like a 9-to-5er broke person and just being like, oh, I obviously don't want you to spend the $20 or whatever the fuck is going to be for you to get us in there. So I'm just trying to sort it out. And I'm just thinking, why are you doing that? Why are you overcomplicating our lives and getting in our own way to serving our client or to saving $20. That's not what the client wants. That's not what the client cares. And basically, it was also done in a way where it was repeated so much that it almost trained the client on to have a broke mindset as to, oh, okay, I shouldn't be spending $20 on this. Oh, okay. So basically, yeah, I had to have a whole chat with my team member and just being like, why the fuck did you do that? You literally were just training the client to have a broke mindset, an 8-figure entrepreneur, and ultimately as well, no reeling. I was just having a conversation or something downstairs. But yeah, ultimately, no educating the client, more on the abundance element and just letting them know, educating them on, hey, Mr. Client, in order to help you achieve X, Y, Z, we need you to get this subscription. He said, okay, it's only $20. How much difference is that? So yeah, fuck, even your team members, training your clients to be bad clients, essentially. So yeah, it's just a couple that have happened. This is almost a daily thing now. So I'm trying to fix a lot of this as we go. So that happened. And we had one of our podcast partners. He's going through a lot of stuff personally with his business partner. Yeah, business partners, that's one of the biggest lessons I've had in the past few years. After being in business this long, you realize that most businesses first will go out of business, but second, the people that have business partnerships, most of them again will part ways at some point. I've seen it so many times now that is absolutely crazy. And it either works so well that they take the business very far and it's great for everyone involved and they spend so much time together and everyone's happy, or it's so bad that everything goes to shit and one might end up fucking on the streets or who knows. So yeah, this one is one of those that is so bad right now, and I feel for him because he's still showing up, doing the content. The other person is just like fucking not doing anything for the business, just being a drag, and he's just showing up and still steering the ship. So yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to still support him, and I give him a chat and just try to freaking motivate him to keep going and give him some props, because nobody sees this, nobody is aware of this in his business, that he's going through all of this, that he's just trying to keep the job of everyone and the business alive, and he's showing up, and I'm glad that we get to support him with his content and ultimately help him as well with his business. It's the kind of responsibility as well that we have with our service and our clients. So yeah, that's sad, but it's cool that we're able to help. I really like that aspect of our business, and he's such a good dude. So yeah, that's one of my favorite things about being in business, just really having an impact on my clients' businesses and by proxy on their life and families and the people that they care about and that they support. I had my coaching calls with one of my licensees as well. That one sucked a bit because it was the last consulting call, and even though this person, we helped her made 100K plus on closing 3 high ticket deals that are basically yearly deals for her business, mainly because we help her basically put a new offer and how to sell it and how to pitch and all these things. So she made that money super quick initially with our license. We made a big mistake, which was that basically she requested us to change completely how we deliver our podcast license. So she wanted things done in a different order, and it didn't sound like a big deal, and we just wanted to make her happy, but that created so many issues because we didn't follow our normal procedures to basically install our podcast license. And it created a bunch of problems with the video editor and social media manager that we placed for her. So there was a few complaints, which sucked. Because ultimately all of that happened because we were trying to make our client happy, and that fucking beat us in the ass. So yeah, like one thing that I've learned as well is almost every time you're just trying to do something for a client to make them happy, and you know that, hey, we shouldn't be doing this, like this is taking us outside the process, hey, this is not what we agreed on, or this is not what we're supposed to do, it always comes and fucking bites you in the ass. We had another client very recently that months ago told us like, oh guys, can we change the name of the podcast? Yeah, I feel like, I want to be named this. I had a fucking download and want to name the podcast this. And we knew that was a bad idea because we have a certain strategies behind the name of a podcast, and not that the podcast name is going to dictate the entire results or whatever. But we knew it made no sense what she wanted. But we just went like, oh, you know what? Sure, let's do it. No problem. We rebranded the entire thing. Months later, comes back and makes a whole fucking deal about the name now not being about the field of expertise and now not helping with SEO, and basically annoyed that the name was changed. And she did acknowledge, like, hey, I know I drove this, but basically being annoyed when we're like, yeah, we told you. We fucking told you. So yeah, it was a reminder for us that, hey, if a client comes with a stupid request that we know is not on their best interest, even if it's gonna make them happy, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. In most cases, it's not worth it. I've experienced a version of this so many times that I don't need to do it again. I don't need to do it again. And I made a point to my team of, stop trying to make clients just happy. Care about the results, experience second. Care about results first. And if that means that the client might not like a few things in the meantime, or we have to push hard back on some stupid request that is being made, that's what we need to do. Because we're not the kind of team that is a yes man team, where the client just says some stupid shit and we go, yeah, let's do that. That sounds great. No, we're the kind of team that fucking stands up and are professionals and very respectful, but we're also very direct, and we understand the data, and we're the experts, and we are being paid a lot of fucking money to do our job, and it is our job to help the client get out of their way if they're getting on the way of the results that we're trying to get for them. So yeah, today that was another reminder, because essentially we got to the end of our podcast system license installation for her business. And usually at this point, we offer them the opportunity to continue to work with us on a consulting basis. And if we did a great job, basically, they will take that and they will continue to work with us on a consulting format. On top of getting their video editor and social media manager, which is already good. But the consulting determines how well we did our job, ultimately. And she gave us a great testimonial. She was here last week. She flew from the opposite end of Australia, and she gave us a great mini testimonial of how it was working with us, and she was pretty happy. But yeah, I presented the opportunity, and she basically said, that not interested at the moment. So that hurts, because you got the result at the beginning, but obviously it wasn't enough, even though, this person made a bunch of money, and we did so much in 2 months, from, building the entire podcast system, training and placing a social media manager, a video editor, launch the podcast, launch ads, build an entire funnel, all these things. Yeah. And she closed deals with the offer that we put together for her, and exactly with the pitch deck that we gave her, and how to say it, how to pitch it, and made her $100,000 in deals. It's still, not enough, basically. It should have been, and the way I see it is, by the time it gets to the consulting, it should be a no fucking brainer. It should be, fucking whatever it is, I don't care how much it is, sign me up. That's what happened with our first podcast licensees that is still with us after like a year and a half, I think. And yeah, at the time, that because she got such great results with us, and at the time that then we concluded and I presented the opportunity to work with us on a consulting basis, she was like, yes, I was gonna say yes to whatever you presented. So yes, you know, it was a no-brainer. She was ready to say yes to whatever I was going to pitch her. It didn't matter because she saw such great results that it didn't fucking matter. So yeah, that sucked because basically that wasn't the reaction that we got today, but it's okay. So much more to learn. We made a huge difference to her business, and we still provided the video editor, social media manager that she will continue to work with on. But yeah, I take that very seriously because I just want to provide a world-class experience and outcomes to my clients as a result of working with us. I truly want them to, once they get our systems, our consulting, our content, our team, that it really is the single best investment that they have ever done for themselves and their business. And that it has such a tremendous impact on their life that they can almost clearly outline a before and after working with Vibes. So yeah, when we don't get that result, I'm fucking so disappointed. I'm pissed off at myself because we failed them. We fucking failed them. And I know that we failed them because I know that nobody out there is gonna care as much as we do for them. Nobody does. I know that. I know that for a fact. Nobody cares as much as we do. So when a client doesn't take us on an offer like that, yeah, I just see it as we failed them. We failed our client because it should have been a no-brainer to continue to work with us. So that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. But it's okay. I'm also seeing so many opportunities for improvement, and I'm kind of excited for the opportunity ahead of what our offer, systems, delivery, fulfillment, and the results that we get for our clients, licensees, consulting clients can be over the next 12 months if we execute correctly, and if I do what I need to do and I identify what are the actions that we need to take right now to truly be in the best possible position leading into next year. So I'm excited for that because I know there's such an opportunity, and we have, to a certain extent, a little bit more time back and space to finally just look at everything and just identify what we need to do and the tweaks that we need to do to get us to the next level. So I'm annoyed at a lot of our current situation because of everything that has happened in the last few months, between losing some clients, firing some clients, losing some team members, firing team members. There's so much stress and shit that has hit the fan. But I'm also so excited for what's about to happen. I'm getting this weird feeling that some great shit is around the corner. And I've lived this too many times to know that this is true. Every single time that life, business, and everything gets very hard and difficult, more than usual, and you're just fucking going through shit back to back, it's almost an indication that something great is about to come at any point. So I'm getting that feeling now. I'm getting that feeling, and that makes me really excited. We keep going. Tomorrow we're going to Sydney for 3 days with the entire team. So that's gonna be fun, and we'll see how that goes.